Michael, what was your reaction when you heard about the awful attacks on the Sri Lankan cricket team in Lahore?
Well, first of all, it was something that I wrote about before Christmas that I thought it was getting closer. I honestly never really believed that it would get as close as it did the other day. Something that none of us as cricket really envisaged would ever happen. I turned the TV on yesterday morning to obviously see all the catastrophe that was happening, and straight away you start thinking about all the players that you've played with and against and hope they can get out of it. And then I hear that Stuart Broad's dad's there, Chris, and then the umpires, you know, all those, and then you obviously see that people have been killed in this incredible event. You know, it's a real tough time for the game. I think the last 6 months in cricket there's been so many different things happening that, you know, this is the pinnacle really, that we never wanted to see this kind of event and attack being placed on cricket. We now know that it can happen to sports teams.
Let's look ahead to the 5th and final test, Michael, in Trinidad. What do England need to do now to win?
Well, a better wicket. Could do with a wicket that is conducive to getting 20 wickets on. I think the Barbados test was far too dominated by the bat. I don't think anyone wants to see that kind of contest where the bat dominates so much over 5 days. Trinidad historically is a ground where a result will happen and the best team generally wins, and 250, 300 usually is a good score in Trinidad. I'm not too sure how they'll want the wicket to be prepared. We just have to go for it. As I said, we need to get a draw in this series to get momentum leading into the summer. So I don't know what they'll do with the attack, and I'm just reading like the rest of the country on who they might go with. But what's important that we need to get 20 wickets. So if they go back to 5 bowlers, you know, it might be the option to go with the fact that we know we have to win this game.
When you were captain, what was your tactic for getting Vaughan
out? Generally to try and get the ball coming back into him. You know, if it means going wide of the crease and angling it back into him, you do that. If you're going to swing it away from about middle rather than from off stump. Try and get him hitting towards mid-on more than hitting towards the offside. He generally shapes up to play towards extra cover. You know, and anyone that shapes to shape up that way to extra cover is always vulnerable to the ball that nips back. So we always worked on a plan as getting close. Like anyone early in the innings, they can snick off from about probably off stump just outside. But if he got in, you know, try and bowl as straight as you can. Always have a third man. Crucial to him.
Well, finally, Australia have just beaten South Africa. Is that ominous for the Ashes this summer?
Look, I've been studying that series from in Australia and the first test in Joburg. I actually watched more of that game than I did the Barbados game, basically because I wanted to have a look at the Australians to see where they were at, and think anyone who can write or comment that Australia are on the downward slide. Yes, they've not got the McGraths and the Vaughans of the last few years, but I know the Hilfenhauses, Johnsons, Siddles are very, very good bowlers, and the top 7 are probably up there with the best top 7 in the world, barring India. So it was a great win for them. You know, they'll be looking to try and gain momentum in the next 2 games. If they can win the series in South Africa, they'll have done exactly what we did in '05. We won in South Africa going into the Ashes. So, you know, we've just got to focus on our jobs, you know, making sure that we play to the maximum of our ability. I know for a fact that Australia will come in with a strong team, and it'll be a very tough series.